Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my journey from couch to 100-mile ultramarathon. I'm going to run through my last 2 weeks of training like I normally do, and I'll get into all the stats and show everything I've done later on in the video. But the big news this week is I finished parkrun, so I'm back to running 5k distance. So I guess we have officially completed a couch to 5k. So I'll have some footage of that running, I'm sure. But it was really good to get back up to the 5k distance. I took it really slowly, but it was just good to be back doing a proper run rather than kind of like just a little trot around the block kind of thing. My wife Anita kindly ran with me, which was really nice. So she slowed down her pace to run with me because I was taking it very easy. Didn't want to risk pushing the pace at all or risk any setbacks. So it was my slowest ever park time. I think it was 34 minutes. We were doing like 11-minute mile-ish. But that's fine. It was really good to just be back running again. And hopefully I've done another 5k since then, later in the week. And hopefully we can just carry on building from that now and start going to park runs regularly again and start building up the speed as well as the distance there. Just on parkrun, if anyone doesn't know what parkrun is, you should definitely do it. But in the UK they're everywhere. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. I think there's 4 or 5 within 25-30 minute drive of where we live. They are all over the country, and they are in lots of countries around the world. So just look up if they're in your country if you are not in the UK. But they're basically 5k races. It's always 5k, and so that's 3.1 miles for those that work in miles. It's all run by volunteers. It's completely free to do the run every single Saturday morning. You just turn up and you run it. And if you want times and stuff, you can get a barcode or get an app on your phone so that it logs your times and records all your results and things. But there's no pressure to run fast. You can walk it if you want. Every parkrun I've ever been to, there's always been someone walking it, or more than one person walking it. Or you can go for all-out PBs. The whole spectrum is there. But I'd really highly recommend it, especially for people that are just getting into running. It's a really good way to kind of test your foot in the waters with races, because even though they say it's not officially a race, if you want it to be a race and try and get PBs and things, you can try and kind of run as fast as you can, or you can use it just to get yourself out the house. But me and Anita love it. We've been doing it for years now, and it's just a really good way to start your weekend. Always gets you feeling better when you finish the race than you did when you started. And it's an excellent sense of community as well. You see the same faces there week in, week out if you're going to the same ones. And volunteering is really good as well. I've volunteered a few times, and it's just a really nice thing to do and give back and ensure that it keeps going. So yeah, if you haven't done one, then I would highly recommend it. If you have done them and you are looking for new ones to do, if you're anywhere near Chippenham, I would highly recommend Chippenham. It's quite a simple course. It's 2 laps of a first loop. You run along the river a bit and then 2 laps of another loop. The first lap is on tarmac with a small hill, and then the second loop is kind of on mud and gravel trail, so a bit cross country. So yeah, it's really nice, scenic, quite fast if you want to go for fast times. In the summer, that is. In the winter it gets very muddy. But yeah, so parkrun achieved. That was our goal for this training block the last 2 weeks. So moving on from there. So I've got my phone again, and I will get into the stats of training for the last couple of weeks. So I'll run it the same as last week, and I'll put comparisons up so we can see how we're progressing, kind of episode over episode. So the number of runs over the past 2 weeks is 5. So that's up from 4 in the prior 2 weeks. It was supposed to be 6, but on Sunday, yesterday, I was supposed to do a 5k. I turned that into a 5k walk. Just because I woke up in the morning, my foot was quite sore, and I just didn't want to push it. I'd been doing quite a lot over the past couple of weeks comparatively to what I had been doing, so turn that into a walk. So that's 1 less run, but that's fine, we're doing well. The longest run was 3.2 miles, so that's not actually parkrun. Later in these 2 weeks I did a 3.2 mile run, so just slightly over a 5k. total running miles was 13.5, which obviously, for those of you out there that are runners, will know that is very low mileage for a 2-week period, but we're building slowly, and the prior 2 weeks was 8.7. So percentage-wise, we're adding quite a lot, and I'll get into my training plan later in the video, but we're planning to up that to 20 miles for the next 2 weeks. A metric I like to use for ultra training when we get there is time on feet and miles on feet, so covering all things, not just running, like golf, walking, everything else. So I've been recording that, and total miles covered for the period was 45.6, and then total time on feet was 19.8 hours. Now the time on feet is slightly less than the prior 2 weeks, and that is simply because I played one more round of golf in the previous training block than I did in this one. And then we've done well on the strength training, so we've got our 4 strength training sessions in, so we're targeting 2 a week, and that's dedicated kind of like lifting weights. And we've got 13 yoga sessions in, which is not officially yoga, it's kind of morning stretches, body weight exercises, and I do that every morning. And I would have been 14, but yesterday when I dropped that run off, I also dropped my morning stretches off just because my foot was hurting in the morning. But that's massively up from the week before. We've doubled almost what we did the week before, so that's really good. So yeah, overall fairly happy with how the last couple of weeks has gone. We haven't gone backwards, which is great. That's one of the things I'm worried about with my Achilles at the moment, is having another setback and having to rest up for a couple of weeks. So I am taking it very cautiously. So that hasn't happened. I say, if I start to feel it kind of a bit more sore than it should be, then I just take a rest day and ease back. But it's been really good. Icing it has helped a lot. So yeah, the injury, touch wood, is not too bad, and it seems to be healing up. We're making progress. As I say, we're going to continue upping the mileage as we go. We're targeting 10 miles a week for the next 2 weeks. This is a bit steep. Ooh, there's a little rope here. Not sure it's doing much. So I did talk in my last video about training accountability. So I throw up, in the last video I threw up my training plan for the 2 weeks that I've just done. So I'll throw that up again. And we pretty much stuck to it entirely until the last day, which is when I just dropped off that run in place of a walk and didn't do the I didn't do like the morning kind of exercises. But apart from that, we stuck to it throughout, so that's really good. The next 2 weeks I will show you. I think I've outlined it in a thick black box, but that's the plan for the next 2 weeks. So we are upping our mileage, as I said, to 10 miles a week, doing quite a few 5Ks, trying to get that 5K distance as a base, and that will be hopefully at some point our shortest run we ever do during the week in training. Still for these 2 weeks, just building up mileage. We're not increasing speed at all, so all of my runs at the moment are just very easy, kind of for me 11-minute miling, kind of zone 1, zone 2 heart rate, just very steady and just building up that base. I'm hoping after these 2 weeks that I can start to build up the pace slightly, maybe bring it down to kind of a 10-minute mile or something, because we do have a 10k race booked in for 5 weeks time from now, I think. So after these 2 weeks, it will leave 3 weeks to try and increase the speed slightly. As I say, I'm not racing a 10k in any way whatsoever. It's all just about experiencing a race again, because it's been a while, and just kind of getting round. I'm running it with Anita, so I'll more than likely run it with Anita, and maybe she'll want to go for a PB or something, I'm not sure, but if she does, then maybe I can try and pace her to that. But yeah, building up the speed after this next session if it all goes well, but for now just keeping that, building up that base level, base mileage. Sticking to two dedicated strength training sessions a week. I will throw up like a visual of what my strength training is at the moment. It varies slightly session to session, but I'm basically just doing kind of the same dozen or so exercises, and if I don't do them every session, I alternate them for each session during the week. So I'll throw that up just to give you an idea of what I'm doing, but it's basically all body. So I'm doing exercises that focus on the legs, shoulders, chest, arms, core. I'm just trying to do something that covers everything. And my morning stretching, morning yoga is building strength as well, though not to the same extent because it's all body weight. But as part of that, I'm doing push-ups and sit-ups and kind of downward dog and lots of different stretching exercises and things. So those will maintain the same. The idea is to do those morning movements every day. But yeah, that's on screen now, is my training plan for the next 2 weeks. So as I say, I'll check in another 2 weeks and assess myself to see whether I've stuck to it or not. And assuming the injury doesn't flare up, hopefully we should be able to kind of nail it and bang out all the runs that are on there. So this is going to be difficult because I'm not on my computer, but I thought what would be a useful visual is Strava have what's called a fitness chart or something. It shows your fitness level according to them. I don't know how accurate it is, because at times I've felt a lot fitter than it is saying on the chart. But anyway, it should give an idea. So I put it for the last 2 years. So you can see, I can't point at it right now, but you can see at the peak was last summer when I was doing all my ultra training. And I had a 100k race, and that peak is actually one of the preparation races for that. It was a 50k before the 100k. So Strava's saying I was less fit on the actual 100k race than I was on one of the prior races, which I didn't feel, but that's why I'm not sure how accurate it is. But you can see since then there's been a huge drop off, and the last kind of couple of months towards the far right hand end of the chart, we're very slowly starting to build it up again. And there has been like a rise and then a little dip, and that's where the injury flared up again as we were starting to get back into it, and now it's tailing up. But I think this will be quite a useful chart to show. I'm not going to show it every fortnight, but every kind of month or so, just to see how fitness is progressing, and it'll give me an idea that I need to be back up to those kind of 50-60 levels to be back where I was. So that's just another thing I'll throw in every now and again. But if anyone that does use that kind of thing and uses the fitness thing on Strava, just let me know if you think it is worthwhile, if you think it's accurate, or I'm not sure how it's calculated. So yeah, let me know if you do use it. So yeah, it's really good that I'm starting to build up the mileage. I am very much missing, I think even more so now that I'm starting to run again, attending kind of races, like trail races, especially half marathons, marathons, ultras. I'm very excited to get back to racing now and going on adventures and things. So yeah, it's a steady steady process, but we are progressing. So hopefully it won't be too long until we're kind of back doing trail marathons and things. And hopefully you'll be along for the journey. I'll be filming all of it. It'll be interesting when we come to do the 10k race, kind of filming that and seeing how that goes. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Consider subscribing. As I say, I'm going to keep putting out these fortnightly videos, and once we actually start doing stuff again, doing exciting adventures and things, I'll be putting out extra videos alongside as well. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.